reviewing Double or Nothing that happened last week. Oh, and also NXT Battleground, which was also a pretty solid pay-per-view, if I'm gonna say. But I'll review that some other time, so be on the lookout for that. And the main thing here I'm going to be talking about is the main event, or the two matches, in my opinion, that stole the show and have ultimately left me believing that this was the match of the night, or matches of the night. But before we get into that, a short little review on the whole entire thing. The women's Owen Cup final. I will be honest with you, this women's Owen Cup final to me was absolutely felt like a final in every single sort of the way. It felt like to me Jamie Hayter was, in my opinion, a strong contender for Mercedes Moné, and my goodness, that was the craziest cradle that ended the match. And I swear, I hope everything's alright and I hope she's okay, but ultimately great opener to set the show on a good standard. Then we have the stretcher match, which is Ricochet and Mark Briscoe. This was like a fun, crazy match. I like how Mark used the cleaner to clean Ricochet's head. That was pretty funny and somewhat brutal match they had, which left Mark bursting open, which was crazy to me. And Ricochet ended up using scissors. Ultimately, Ricochet won. FTR versus Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. This was kind of the match that I didn't expect to be as good as it was. It's always good to see Nigel's back in the ring, but ending to me was a great fade out, like the fire slowly dying out sort of pace that I liked about it. FTR winning in the end. And the women's championship match, Toni Storm and Mia Mizaki. I know I botched that name up. Those two had a brutal back and forth. The ending scene was quite the memorable part. But moving on to the tag team match, which was Sons of Texas versus Hurt Syndicate. This match was whatever it could be. I knew for a fact that MJF would interfere, and he did. And there were some like bumps in the road where I thought they would kick him out. But Hurt Syndicate retained. And Kazuchika Okada versus Mike Bailey. What a closing finish. That's all I have to say. Is that drop kick? My God, a drop kick that will never be done again. Like, I know there's this concept of like the super kick moonsault out of the air, but I don't ever want to see that being done to anyone else other than Mike Bailey, because I swear, dude, that has to be one of the most best closing match finishes I have ever seen. The six-man tag between Don Callis family and Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. I think this was the cool down match, but it still rocked for what it was, but still pretty good. And now we have Anarchy and the Owen Cup Finals, and here is the question I'm going to address. Was the main event for this the right call? Because if you were to ask me, Anarchy in the Arena was the perfect way to end out Double or Nothing. You know, Anarchy in the Arena, usually ended out Double or Nothing no matter what. It was always the best stipulation. It had so much chaos, some brutality, and ultimately left you feeling like you witnessed all hell break loose. But on the other hand, you have Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page in that Owen Cup final. You can tell from those video packages alone that these two have made that Owen Cup final one of the most anticipated Owen Cup finals I have ever seen. And I said before, I was not upset between who won this Owen Cup final, because I knew whoever had won it would be someone who would be deserving of it. It turned out to be Hangman. I'm not upset about it because, let's just be honest, Hangman did really need this win, and Will, as much as I think to myself, there's only so much time he has left until like the AEW spark effect kind of loses its magic a bit. But he's still rising up from this, in my opinion. This wasn't really a loss for him at all. Would rather Anarchy in the Arena main event Double or Nothing than Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page? I say no, because as much as I love Anarchy in the Arena, I love the fact that this was the main event. Like, don't get me wrong, there were botches here, and Hangman took one of the most disgustingest styles class off the freaking apron to the floor. Like, dear God, you had me gag in that match. But I will say this, that is probably going to be one of the best Owen Cup Finals that we have in a long time. And God bless, what a final. A quite deserving final. And maybe it was a good decision on Will's part to talk to Tony Khan and change the decision. But that staple in the tongue though, like, come on, really? Wait for Friday for me to unleash that son of a gun. But until then, check out my videos. STARZ Unite.